From the combined crew of blindandroidusers.com and accessibleandroid.com, it's time for your favorite Android podcast. Kick back now and enjoy another fine episode from these fanboys and gals as they navigate Android from a blindness perspective. And now, here's your crew. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 249 of the Blind Android Users podcast. We're recording today, September the 13th, 2025. I'm Warren Carr here alongside with my co-hosts. We've got...
This is John Dyer from Virginia.
Heading to and from Lebanon.
And Salih Kunduz from Turkey.
Welcome, guys, to episode 249. Coming up in this episode, we have the Talkback 16.1, which we're focusing on. That is followed by announcements where we talk about the demise of the Nova launcher. Oh, a friend of ours is probably going to cry about it, but well, things happen, don't they? That then is followed by the Talkback Highlight, and we conclude today's episode with the tip of the week from our friend Joe Hodge, as he shows you how to use a new feature found in the Help Me Edit on the Pixel 10 camera. Something I believe Google probably already has pushed out to other Pixel phones. That's what we have coming up in this episode. Welcome again to episode 249. Karen girl, pretty girl in Lebanon. Let's talk about you. What's going on with you?
I'm doing well. Things are good here. Actually, the weather is slightly hotter today, but it's still bearable. And things are going well here. What about you?
I'm doing well, too. We're kind of heating up to, I think we're going to be like 80-something degrees, maybe 82. Right now, though, it's at like 61 degrees. So not too bad. Actually, it feels nice because even yesterday when it was like 78 degrees, it wasn't bad at all. So 83 may be a little bit warmer than yesterday, but, well, we'll see what happens. John, what's going on? You're out there in that Virginia land. You're probably out running around, and you're actually joining us from the car, but it sounds really good. Talk about your driving. I hope you're not the one driving, maybe Ash driving.
No, it's not me. It's Ashley. So it was pretty nice this morning. I went to a baseball game, and we kind of got stuck in traffic on the way home. So I'm joining from my phone, at least to start for this episode.
And you sound damn good, if I may say. So you're good. It sounds.
You'll be happy to hear that I'm calling to you through my AirPods.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't have mentioned that because I was hiding that. Sally
so
boy,
this is gonna be censored. It's a forbidden word. So yeah.
I need to cut that out. Just kidding. Sally boy, what's going on with you, my man?
All right. Greetings, everyone. I wish my good friend Ed was here to talk about the international break's over. So we are going back to the soccer season. The normal league season and Champions League is going to start. I'm missing you, man, Ed. Hope you come back soon. Well, other than that, it's saying it's 26 degrees or let's say 78 degrees F here in Samsun, Turkey. It was a great day today, but now it's getting kind of colder. And probably it's going to rain tonight. But other than that, I'm kind of sad. But you know why I'm sad? Even my voice is sometimes breaking for this sad news all through the week. That's what I was facing. So, yeah, what to do? Life
is good for life. A man to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid to cry, though. Yeah.
The girl would love you more if you,
there you girls. You will know that I have emotions. Yeah.
Exactly. And now, the announcement segment. This is a segment dedicated to things we want you to be in the know. And now for this week's episode, here's your announcements. Let's now move on to the announcement segment. And today we're talking about something that really hits Sally hard. We're talking about the demise of the Nova launcher, guys. You all know, I know the internet has been buzzing with the demise of the Nova launcher. I mean, Nova launcher is still there on the Play Store, isn't it, guys? It's still there. It's just that the
It's
developer
there.
saying he's not going to be
It's
developing
there.
anymore and all of that.
Yeah,
So
it's
let's talk
still.
about this subject matter. Sally, you're the one who is probably the biggest user of this. John, I know you use some third-party launcher. I don't remember if you also use Nova, but Sally in particular is all heartbroken, like when you lose a
Yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah. Well, I saw this coming because there was no update to Nova Launcher since last year, and the last update was on June last year. So I could see that coming, and since it's purchased by Branch, it's a really famous company by mobile analytics or all those stuff or mobile metrics and stuff. So when they purchased Nova Launcher, they said that it's gonna be even better for local searches, for anything related to your phone, and better integrations with online services. First, it was all good when Branch purchased Nova Launcher. It was all good, but then they started like laying off some employees of Nova Launcher, like more than 50 people were fired. So it was only this developer himself and one another person left from the original Nova Launcher company developing for a Branch. And then they said to Kevin Barry, who is the sole developer of Nova Launcher right now, it's over. We're not going to continue with Nova Launcher. And unfortunately, you cannot open source it because this is what's written in the contract. Before that, they would tell Kevin Barry that you could do open source the project, but then they say you cannot do anything about it. Nova Launcher is dead. You have our codes inside the app, the Branch codes, the local search and analytics and anything. So with those codes, you cannot open source the project. And unfortunately, Nova Launcher is gone. It's gone, but it can be still downloaded from the Play Store. Sometimes you see the website is down. You cannot access their website, official novalauncher.com website. Sometimes it comes up back again. I wrote in the article that it was down, but I could see that it's back again, and then it's down, and it's back in again. I don't know what's going on in there, but it's really a sad thing for all the customization lovers. And I could see that in Reddit and other social networks that people are really sad about the Nova Launcher's departure. And there is a petition campaign on change.org to open source the project so Nova Launcher can continue without Branch and in any other those analytics. I'm not sure if it's going to come true, but what we know so far is Nova Launcher is no longer going to be developed. You can still download it from Play Store, but not sure for how long it's going to be there. Launcher is a really simple app for the phone. You can use it like you don't need those online services to customize your home screen. And but then I'm not sure how it's going to be after some time because those API integrations will need to be renewed and the case will be needed to be renewed, and not sure how it's going to be for the launcher itself for those services and stuff. But other than that, the local services and local search is going to be working until there's something from Google. It says, okay, this app is old and cannot be installed on newer versions of Android. So now all we have is Nova Launcher is still working, but it has no future at all. And let's see what happens though. This is really sad. And all this week is all about Nova Launcher. I'm searching on Google, talking to many people, the lovers, the fans, what's going to happen, what launcher you're going to choose, but they don't have any idea right now, just like me. And this is really sad. And let's cry on it.
So that's Sally's cry about the loss of Nova Launcher. Frankly, looking at it though, I'm kind of thinking this way because launchers are just launchers, right? A lot of people don't even use third-party launchers. To be honest, most average Joes on the street don't even know that these things are called launchers or don't even go seeking for launchers. So it's just the niche amount of people, Android enthusiasts, people who want more customization of their phones and things like that, that will go after these third-party launchers and all of that. And so the greed, I think it all has to do with greed, because the companies thought they were going to be making a whole lot of moolah from it. Let me complete my thought here. They thought they were going to making a boatload of moolah, so they bought this thing and hoping they were going to be making money. And when that didn't come through, of course they are going to be feeling a little bit disappointed. You're not going to be making money from a launcher. Let's be honest with ourselves, because it's not like the whole people or the 80% of the people are using it. If 80% of people on Android are using third-party launchers, yes. But if not, I don't see where the whole hubbub is all about.
You know what? I don't want to sound like a fanboy or anything, but Nova Launcher has more than 100 million downloads on Play Store. This is huge. This is no any other launcher can get there. So Nova Launcher is something else. Don't say Nova Launcher is just like any other. It's something else for Android lovers.
Yeah, but 1 million downloads. How many of those millions are actually buying it? Because it's not like you can use it if you don't want to pay for it. A lot of people don't want any further customization. The free version is good enough for them. And if you have 1 million, but only a handful are paying for the whatever, and it's not like it's an annual subscription or anything, you can sustain it.
I wonder how many downloads Nova Launcher Prime has.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That would be the one. And most especially when it's sold for 99 cents for Christmas specials, that's not going to take you anywhere either.
I'm pretty sad about it too. I mean, I guess I'm not sad yet. Let's put it that way. Like, as long as it's working for me, I'll continue to use it. So I'm not gonna like fret about it at the moment, but I will be very disappointed when I'm not able to use it anymore, because I do like it mainly for gestures. Like it sounds like not a big deal, but I mean, just to be able to do like the home gesture.
The Nova Prime has 5 million downloads, and the original free version has more than 100 million downloads.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I use it for
99 cents.
So I use it for gestures, to quickly access apps, and I like that feature. I mean, I use it constantly, every day, especially for things like Lookout, Be My Eyes, stuff I want quick access to. Just have them assigned to gestures, but I'll miss it when it's gone.
Well, for me, actually, I'm not sad because it's gonna, because I was using it. I'm sad because it was really one of the good launchers out there. It was a project that lasted for long. People used to love it. It used to show the customization in Android. So that's what makes me feel sad about not having it anymore. But, well, the problem is that the Nova lovers, like Saleh, for example, don't want to see other launchers. I mean, they just try to feel that, okay, this launcher has this feature. No, it's not good as Nova, even if the launcher has the feature. So for example, Saleh, like, I was trying to let him give at least launcher a try. Just give it a try. Try to live with it for a bit. He was like, no, it doesn't have this feature, doesn't have that feature. We tried to convince him, no, it has this feature.
Irene, this is also how you buy the phones, isn't it? You say, okay, this has this feature and this doesn't. Even if it has that feature, it's not like I want it. This is how you choose your phone too, right? So when it comes to
you can't.
Yeah, but you got to compromise somewhere, because sometimes we have trade-offs and all of that.
Yeah, but I mean, we're here talking about like more than 11 years of habits, and it's not easy to change it,
Okay, but it's over. So you have
it's not over. It's not over when it's over.
Okay, so you should be living with broken features for a year or two.
Listen, it's not broken for now, so it's working so far.
Yeah, so use it while it lasts, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Record, I had purchased the Nova Prime. I think when I bought mine was for $4.99 or something. I didn't do the annual special of 99 cents. But even though I don't use it, I just bought it just to support the development and all of that. I've never
Well,
used
you,
it.
you know
really.
what, Warren? I'm not sure how many different phone manufacturers you tried, but when I tried on Samsung, when I tried on LG, when I tried on Huawei, when I tried on others, like even those local phones, when you install Nova Launcher and when you just uh, restore from your backup, you're home. No matter what phone you're using, you're home.
Yeah, I understand, but I mean, you could use Ruthless launcher. It's a damn good launcher, no?
No, Ruthless is no longer in the Play Store.
Oh, it's no longer
Ruthless
on
is
there.
left
Yeah.
earlier than Nova.
Oh, what a shame. Okay. I think
Ruthless fact, actually.
Ruth left Moab then and never returned. All right.
Well, you have Hyperion, and you have Launcher. The beta version is in early access right now. It's on the Play
Well,
Store, but early access.
I'm sure the
Uh,
folks hearing me out here, I'm sure there are many Nova Launcher users out there listening to the podcast. Let's cry on it for some time. We deserve it.
And move
Yeah,
on.
you can cry, boy. I think a smart launcher wants to do what Nova does, and I think we may get what
I,
we're
I, I
looking
tried
for.
Smart.
Smart
I tried
launcher.
Smart Launcher
Just
yesterday, and accessibility is far from.
there's some of those. I wrote to
It
them
doesn't even have
about it.
actions, right?
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have the actions. I wrote to them about it. I think if they can implement those features, frankly,
Okay,
I
Smart
think it'll
Launcher
just
is
be as
great.
good
I
as
mean,
the Nova
I'm
launcher.
here as a Nova Launcher fanboy. I'm telling you guys, if Smart Launcher gets actions, I'm gonna use it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a damn good launcher if
Yeah,
they implement
it's good. Like it
full
has a lot of.
accessibility
I
and
love. Yeah, I
all
love its storage.
the other stuff. I kind of liked
Yeah.
it because I was playing with it, and
Yeah.
it has lots of it, and I
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
ability to be able to rename icons and all of that, because sometimes
Does it
you're
have
on.
gestures?
It has
Yeah, it
gestures.
has gestures,
It
but
has
it has gestures, but it doesn't do the actions, like the Nova
Okay.
does. So that's a shortcoming. But they say they will implement all the Nova stuff, and I hope they do. That would be really nice.
I probably use gestures way more than I use actions now. I'm thinking about it. Like I use actions when I'm like customizing the screen.
I love
But-
sorting apps and widgets on and off. Sometimes I need to change positions, so that's why I use those actions. It makes it a lot of easier. But then for gestures, I use them too for locking my screen. I don't use the power button, and this is really helpful. Like Nova has those clockwise gestures familiar from iOS, so I don't see any other launcher using that. But on Nova, it works perfectly.
I like those.
Yeah, it really works. So, guys, you know
Yeah,
what we are
just
losing
look
here.
at Smart Launcher, John. Play with it, see what you think. It
I mean,
has some.
we should write them. Like I was in contact with the guy Vincenzo. I mean, his name was maybe. I was in a contact with him, and he said he could work on announcing the rows as we move the icons, but it's still not working perfect. And I didn't follow up because I was really tired of this, and I didn't know how to help.
And now, the Android Basics segment. This is a segment where we discuss the things that power your device from behind the scenes. And now, here's this week's episode, Android Basics. Let's chug along now as we move on to the Android Basics. And today we're talking about the Talkback 16.1 that dropped. Some of you have received it, some of you haven't. As always, as is the case, sometimes some people get it and some people don't get it on time. It may even take a week or maybe more than a week. I know sometimes it takes a little bit longer than necessary than we want it to be, but this is a rollout because they want to make sure that those of you that get it, it's working right, and if there's something wrong, then it could be pulled. So be patient, and if you're that impatient, you can always go download the APK from APK Mirror, something that I don't recommend, nor do I advocate for. But if you are impatient, if you are Karine or John or Gary, I'm calling you out, the Mongolian Roma minister, and you're so impatient to go download it, you can go download and install it. But frankly, I think it will be rolling out to you guys. So let's talk about Talkback 16.1. what is new, or some things that we know that work. For example, I haven't seen it at my end yet. John, you sideloaded the APK. What are some of the things that work for you? I know we're going to be highlighting a feature from this update, and that's what our Talkback Highlight is all about today. Something you mentioned about the focus delay settings and all of that. Outside of that, what's new? I know you like some of the stuff that are implemented, especially the Braille. Do we have any better Braille support now with Talkback 16? You use that keyboard a lot. I don't use the virtual keyboard.
Yeah, so the focus delay that you mentioned, I think, is the biggest deal. I think most people will be happiest with it because what it does is, well, I should say the typing focus delay, because now you can adjust either the focus delay or the typing focus delay. So basically, it's a way to make typing faster if you're not happy with the typing experience. It's also, if you change the regular focus delay, it's a way to make Explore by Touch a little bit faster when you first touch the screen. As far as I can tell, neither of these affect actual swiping speed or the speed of that sort of thing. But yeah, other than that, the other big feature is that you can now customize the Braille keyboard. So you can customize the commands to whatever gestures you want. There are no new commands, but you can customize what's already there.
Yeah, in other words, you could reassign them to something that you wanted, you want it to be, and all of that, just like what we have. For example, like my 3-finger swipe down, I reassign mine to describe images, and then my swipe up with 3 fingers, I use that to spell the last spoken phrase or whatever, that kind of thing. So I understand what you're talking about. Now, I think, though, that the focus delay, especially from the typing, where it gives people the different choices as how many milliseconds you want it to be, I think it's been like, a game changer. I've heard people talk about it, how they like it and all of that. So I'm glad that we have that. And the truth is, if we have it implemented this way to where it is not the default, because it's not everybody's that's going to be wanting something of that nature. Maybe if things are responding a little too quickly for them, or defaulting into characters, or symbols as they put their finger there a little bit longer. So I'm glad that you could choose to either have that as its default, which is like, what's that, 0.3?
Yeah, so the default is 0.3 or 0.3 seconds, or 300 milliseconds. And you can, the good thing about it, like you mentioned, is nothing changes on its own. It'll behave exactly how you're used to. But if you want to change these settings, you go into Talkback settings, then go into advanced settings, then go into focus delay settings, and that's where you'll find where you can adjust the focus delay or typing focus delay. And the default for both of them is 0.3. You can change it to 0.25, 0.2, or 0.15. So you can cut it down to half of what the default is if you want to, which I think is a huge improvement, especially with typing.
Yeah, I really like it, because people have been complaining about the fact that, that typing delay was there, and to see them doing this, it gives people that ability to choose what they want and all of that. Sally, what do you think about these changes? You think we're going the right direction where people want us to be, because you got the options, whether you want to stay the way it used to be or you want to change it to something else that you think is a little bit faster for you?
Well, for me, change is not always good, so I don't know. Yeah,
I know you don't like the change, huh? You
yeah,
sometimes you cry about changes, but
yeah,
the world is about changes because I believe that
exactly.
Istanbul has changed a lot.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I've been there last month, and I'm really amazed how changed the city is. I mean, it's really different from where I left off.
yeah. So when we have changes in talkback, so also it's a good thing to see those changes.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, it's a good one. But when Talkback is concerned, of course, and it's my primary screen reader since February, and I'm not looking back, and I'm appreciating every changes though.
Yeah, and most especially when you have three options to choose from. I
Yeah,
think
and you don't.
that's really good.
Yeah, the good thing is this time they're not making the decision for you. If you want to change it, you can go change it. But the reason we're in this situation where people don't like the typing experience is because, and this is going way back, TalkBack and Gboard used to only be lift to type, and then somebody at some point said they wanted to be able to double tap keys, and that's a change they made for us without letting us opt into it. And ever since then, typing has been very frustrating, for a lot of people. And the good thing is now that you can adjust the focus delay, you can make the delay so low that you literally can't double tap, which kind of brings back, in a way, how Gboard originally behaved. Well, I don't know if it's originally, but a long time ago, how it used to behave with only lift to type. So, and I should point out that these the focus delay for typing only affects whatever keys on the keyboard are lift to type. So if in the settings you have everything set to lift to type, then it will affect all of those keys. If you have it still on the default where only the letter keys are lift to type, then this only affects the letter keys. And of course, if you have it set for nothing to be lift to type, then this setting won't have any effect on you. You'll still have to double tap everything.
It's interesting you mentioned that lift to type because I remember it became really frustrating for people because there was no option and all of that. So, yeah, sometimes we ask for things and then it gets implemented and there's no toggle. And, I'm all for all the changes, for all the great changes, but the great changes usually should have a toggle because you have folks like Sally who doesn't want Istanbul to change. Leave that default. If I want to be in the good old default, or if I want that, I think that's a good thing to do because you are satisfying all the parties. No one is being left out in the cold, so to speak. And so to make these changes with these certain options in there, I think for me it's a win-win situation because it satisfies everyone involved. Karen girl, how about you? You like changes, new boyfriends, stuff like that, but talk back especially.
Yeah, I like changes, of course. And I'm talking about TalkBack and about the screen reader in general, not
Not the
about
first
anything
one.
else. Yeah,
Okay,
not about
that's
anything
fine.
else. Yeah,
That's
but
She
fair.
does like changes. This is why she doesn't use TalkBack. She gets updates every month, not like twice
Yeah.
a year.
Or maybe
But
even
we
nightly.
every week
we
I
we
get them.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
we missed something. He was also asking about boyfriends. What is on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So, but she doesn't want to change those. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're staying steady on that one. Kudos to you, my dear. Okay,
And I will be
take me to
forever.
contact.
Okay, let's go back to TalkBack. And well, actually, I like what they implemented with respect to the focus delay thing, and that they didn't try to decide on behalf of people. Now, actually, they are starting to become like aware of this reality, which is people have the right to make the screen reader behave like they want it to be, not like what Google wants us to use it. So I have noticed that they have recently when they are implementing new features, they are usually making them as toggles, and they are giving you the ability to choose, which is good. And well, I tried the new TalkBack. Okay, I'm still a Disho user, and But the good thing is that, yeah, it showed, like during my testing, it showed that it was doing better with respect to when you minimize the focus delay. It's working, like it's now faster to interact and to start speaking when you put your finger on the screen, when you're exploring the screen, which is good. Also, when you type, but let me say that it's not similar to direct touch typing. It's still has slight lag. Sometimes you just hear the sound feedback and then you hear the speech. But it could be also related to text-to-speech used. But I think I still prefer the Jisho typing more, especially when we are disabling the screen reader gestures with Jisho. So I think it's still giving slightly better experience. However, I should say that the new change has its effect and its noticeable effect. Yet, I think it just needs slight tweak to become like slightly better. But we should appreciate what they did, and I hope that they will improve it. And then
So,
that's
Corinne,
yeah.
here's a question for you. I mean,
Okay.
it's about Talkback, but there is a beta to Jisho for the 12th of September. Did you see what they done in this, and is it getting any better in terms of typing, or is it still the same?
So before that, we had the screen reader gesture suspension function, which helped a lot when typing because we are able to type faster because Jisho doesn't try to interpret our touches and to see if we want to double tap or what we want to do. So this makes typing much better. So what happened in the not actually the most recent beta, maybe the 3 betas before it, but it was like improved with the last beta, is that now you can enable gesture suspension whenever the keyboard is shown. So when you are focusing the keyboard, it suspends gestures, and then you can type. And when the keyboard is hidden, you can. Actually, the gestures are resumed automatically. So this is great. However, it still has some issues. Like what should happen is that it should, when you are focusing something else on the screen, gestures should be coming back. However, it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes you can just focus, you are just focusing something else on the screen and gestures aren't back until you hide the keyboard completely. However, he is just trying to refine it. Before it wasn't at all working well. Now it's working better. But you should try your luck and see if it works or not as you want it to be. For now, until now, I'm just using the manual suspension and resumption of the feature because of the problems that I mentioned, and because if you try to type emojis, because you have to double tap, it's not working. So even if you double tap the place where the emoji is located and you try to tap it, it doesn't work. So you have to use a gesture to click, a volume key press, or to use the voice assistant, which is not actually the best thing to do because it takes time. So, but actually, I hope that Talkback implements something related to direct touch typing in the future. But yeah, going back to your question, yeah, this makes typing better, assuming that it works for you as it should.
A couple of other things that are new is, I don't know the exact languages. Hopefully, Warren will put that in the show notes to the accessible Android article with all the details. But now you can use the screen description and follow-up questions with more languages if you're doing image descriptions there. And what else was that? Oh, there was a new talk. Go ahead.
I can count the languages, but do I really need to? There are more than like 40 languages listed. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then they've implemented some new TalkBack message for sighted people who accidentally turn on TalkBack, it gives them a
Excuse me,
chance.
John.
Yeah.
Just because you were talking about the describe screen feature and the image description, there is a change which is good actually. They moved the thumbs up and thumbs down to the actions, so you don't have to deal with them to navigate to them whenever you're trying to read the responses. So now you can just use actions, focus the message, and use actions to report if the response is good or bad.
Yeah, I do love this change. Those were so annoying. Like when I just wanted to get to the text, like I'd have to swipe like 3 times just to get to the text or a follow-up question or something. So that's much better.
You know, I really like that feature you just mentioned, the swiping up or down, to get whether, the response, because the previous thing was that those things were buttons, right? Actual buttons. And like you indicated, John, it took maybe a couple of swipes or 3 swipes.
They get in the way. And how often do you actually use them? Yeah.
Exactly. Not often. I don't remember the last time I say good response or bad response. I'm after what the description says. And so I know I'm supposed to give them thumbs up or thumbs down, but most oftentimes I don't think a lot of people do that. But so those things were actually in the way. I'm glad that they have implemented to where you just swipe using the actions to get to what you need to say if you want to give that feedback.
And then another feature they've added that is not for us is a message that will display when TalkBack first turns on to let a sighted person know how to turn off TalkBack. And now you can, if you just hold, it tells them if they hold 2 fingers on the screen for 5 seconds, it will turn off TalkBack, either 3 seconds or 5 seconds, I don't remember. But it does work. And of course, you could turn this off in the settings if you don't want it on. I don't know. I've never gotten, like, there's yet to be a phone that comes with TalkBack 16.1. So I haven't really seen this like in actual action, because even for me, like when I updated to it and it was technically turned on, I didn't see the message unless I went into the settings, turned the settings off, and then turned the setting back on. So hopefully it's working as intended, but the good thing is you can turn it off. So as long as you can turn it off, I'm fine with them adding this.
But the shortcut is working because I tried it and it's working well.
Yeah, it is working. But you had to manually turn on the switch in settings, right? And then the message popped up, and then you could turn off TalkBack.
Yes, it was off by default, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so it does work if you go and manually turn it on. I just, like I said, it's not been pre-installed on anything, so it'll be a while before it's turned on by default. But the point is, you can go in and turn it off if it's something that bothers you.
Yeah, because there are some sighted people that accidentally have turned on TalkBack and have no way of knowing how to go about turning it off. And so it makes sense to have something like this for people who now and then would kind of do something silly, and then they wind up getting stuck with TalkBack. And that's why we have a bad rating on TalkBack, or from people who are even advocating that TalkBack should be removed from Android. So you sighted people, if you're listening to us, please, this is not intended for you. It's for us, those of us who are blind. This is the only way we can interact with the phone. And if we don't have a screen reader, then we're dead in water. So I'm glad that Google is thinking about doing this, because this will help those guys to know how to turn it off if you do something silly. Don't want to say the other S word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but the thing is not not all people are going to their settings and enabling TalkBack. Yeah, there could be people who are doing this, but actually some phone manufacturers, I didn't see it other than in Huawei phones. I think that maybe Huawei was the only one doing this, but the shortcut to enable accessibility is on by default, and it's set to TalkBack. So and it's not like Samsung, so you just, I think for 2 seconds or something like that, maybe less, and then it turns on TalkBack. So I don't know why people sometimes just press the 2 volume buttons together and keep them pressed for like this time, short time.
Like
that
forever,
it needs
yeah.
to. No, actually, it's not like Samsung. It was
I'm
really
just
shorter.
kidding. Yeah.
So I know several people who just turned TalkBack on and they were stuck and unable to know what was happening.
I
Actually,
think what it is I don't know if Huawei does this or not, but I know it's like this. I think it's like this on a Pixel. A lot of phones, what they do with the volume rocker is they just have it look like one button, like it's one solid piece of metal or whatever. And a lot of people think like they might think they're pressing like the power button to turn off the phone, but really they're pressing both volume buttons because it's not like 2 distinct buttons. It's just one button on the phone. So I think that might be why people do this accidentally so often.
yeah, but they're already along buttons, so you don't have to. I mean, it's not something that I think that I might do. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
I'm
that
just talking about
sometimes,
regular people that are like,
yeah,
like
and I think
like
sometimes
grandmas and stuff.
probably
Actually,
maybe
the people were not grandmas and stuff. They were just
I
young
don't think
men
they're
and women.
grandmas
Yeah.
either. No, I think that sometimes maybe
They could be grandmas in
if
spirit.
it is maybe if someone presses it against something, maybe it's in your pocket or maybe a tight jeans or whatever. Maybe if that hits against something, it may activate TalkBack. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to justify or figure a way how people are enabling this, unknowingly, and getting themselves stuck with something that didn't intend to do. But yeah, I don't think grandmas would even do that necessarily. Karina, I'm with you. I don't think grandma is going to be doing that. Grandmas
You don't think
are
your
better.
grandma would accidentally press the volume rocker
Oh,
thinking it's the power button to try to turn off
must
their
hit
phone?
it. No, I think grandma knows better than that. I think it's
Okay.
the young heads that are doing that nonsense, and they go about on the Play Store wanting to remove, asking for TalkBack to be removed. So young people, don't do silly. All right.
I think I should mention that in the What's New, when it was first released, now this has been corrected since then because I've double checked. It's not there anymore, but there was a mention of a double tap with 2-finger gesture starting and stopping voice typing if you are running the latest version of Gboard. Of course, that's not working. And many people pointed out that this wasn't working. And then mysteriously, a few days later, it was removed from the What's New section. So I think it's safe to assume that Google is at least trying to get this thing working. So that's good news, but it's definitely not part of TalkBack 16.1. So if you see any mention of it, that's why there was a little bit of confusion there.
Yeah, so people have been wanting the double tap with 2 fingers to start and end voice dictation and all of that. So it will be a nice thing when we finally see it working, right? But as you indicated, that is no longer part of what is new. And so we're looking forward to when that gets corrected, and then we'll be celebrating about it.
And a couple of new additions I noticed, which I'm not a fan of either of them, to be honest, but I did notice them, is now if you select a large chunk of text, instead of reading out the entirety of it, it'll tell you how many characters it was and tell you the beginning part of it and the end part of it. So less verbose there. And then the other thing I noticed is that if you are using Google TTS, which a lot of TalkBack features these days require Google TTS, at least verbosity settings. If you're using Google TTS, it will now say emoji after an emoji. So for example, if there's a thumbs up emoji, it will actually say thumbs up emoji instead of thumbs up, which I'm not a fan of this either, but it's there.
And, John, that's a good observation, because this is one of those things that we were talking about, when things get implemented without sometimes it's from people who say we want it this way, most especially people who are complaining about, the selection is too verbose. I copy something, I don't want the whole thing read. And so, well, you got to find a way to kind of mitigate that problem, then so they decided to do what they did. And I don't think that I necessarily blame them. Some of these things come from us. We don't want this, but then it would have been nice if there was a toggle to say, no, I want to hear the whole thing. You know what I mean?
don't think anything should be changed without giving us the option to either go
Exactly.
with the change or not. Because, and I'll tell you why it bothers me, because I type in the Braille keyboard, and they've already done this to me once. So in the Braille keyboard, when you're typing and you finish typing, what used to happen is when you would go to the beginning of the field, it would read all of the text from where the cursor was to where you moved the cursor. So it would read the entirety of the text. And people said this is too verbose. And I was actually using that as a way to review everything I typed before I send it.
And it makes sense to me, yeah.
And now it just says beginning of field. And so I was like, so now my workaround is to select all and then just listen to what it says and be very careful not to touch the screen, because I will delete if I accidentally put in a character.
Delete the whole thing.
Delete everything. But at least I had a way to like have it read everything back to me. And now I don't even have that anymore. So I have to back out. If I want to proofread it, I have to back out of the Braille keyboard, put the
regular keyboard
edit box back in focus. Yeah. And then have it read to me. So it's like, these were never like actual features that were supposed to behave, but I was depending on it reading the entire thing, you know, to help me review my text. And now I can't do that. And then this is kind of funny, but the reason the emoji thing bothers me is because when I'm using voice typing and I say, like, for example, I say thumbs up emoji, then when it reads it back to me, it only says thumbs up. Then I know it is an emoji because it didn't say emoji. Because before, if it would say emoji, it would have literally put in the text thumbs up emoji. And then I would know, oh, it for whatever reason, it didn't put in the emoji because it's saying emoji. So that means the actual text emoji is there. But now I don't know now what if I've done the dictation, whether it's an emoji or if it put the text in. But I mean, I guess it is a good feature. I just wish we had an option of how we wanted it to indicate. Like, I'd rather have a sound effect letting me know it's an emoji, or just say it in a higher pitch to let me know it's an emoji rather than the actual word emoji. I think that would have been a better solution, but we don't have any setting to change anything. That's just how it is now. Like I said, if you're using Google TTS.
Yeah, and you know, it goes back to that whole idea of wanting changes, and then, you know, you can't satisfy everybody. I see where you're coming from, which totally makes sense to me, because you are not sure if the word thumbs up is what is written, or if the words thumbs up emoji are written in words. So it's a very tricky thing to do. And I think maybe if that would be associated with a sound, maybe thumbs up and followed by a low sound, or sound before saying thumbs up, or, you know, and then there's no need for emoji. But then, you know, if you're someone like me who doesn't use sounds, then, you know, it doesn't matter anything. So it's really hard. I sometimes feel sorry for the people that are developing, because you got different opposing views of how things ought to be, and it's really hard to come down in the middle.
Well, actually, I prefer the one that they did regarding the selection. I think they should follow common sense, and this follows like logic and common sense, actually, because usually we want only to know what's the beginning of the text, selected text, and what's the end of this text. So because John is having this very specific use case, this doesn't mean that this feature it shouldn't be implemented like this. I mean, for me, it's the best implementation that they came with Talkback 16.1. But regarding the emojis, I don't care if they say emoji, if it says emoji or not. Anyway, it's just a Google TTS thing, and I don't use Google TTS. And if I use it with Auto TTS. So actually, I won't be getting it anyway. But actually, I already stated my opinion on accessible Android this week. But what they are doing with this is not something good. They are just making all changes related to pronunciations and announcements works with Google TTS only. So you will know from now on that whenever there is something changing in this regard, that it will work just with Google TTS. And the features are becoming more and more, like with each TalkBack release, you get a new feature that only works with Google TTS. So I hope that they will stop this. And whenever, like the word emoji, it's fine to have it passed on to the TTS engines without checking if you are using Google TTS or not, because it's a text, actual text, and it should be passed on to the TTS engine that you are using. So I don't know what's the point behind only passing it to Google TTS when it's the system TTS engine. I can't see anything justifying this. But anyway, this is Google. And so we should just accept it as it is, just show our opposition. But I'm not sure if anything will change. Anyway, but this is Google.
And now, for the faithfuls, this is a native Android screen reader segment, simply referred to as Talkback Highlights. This is where some new feature or new happening with Talkback is featured. And now, here's your newest Talkback Highlight. We now move on to the Talkback Highlights, and today John is demonstrating how you go about adjusting those focus features that we were talking about earlier. Here's John now to show you the Talkback Highlight.
Hello, welcome to Talkback Highlights. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a new feature introduced in Talkback 16.1. This is called focus delay settings. So you can now adjust the focus delay and typing focus delay. And I'll explain exactly what that means and why you'd want to do it. First, I'll show you where to find these settings. I'm going to bring up the Talkback menu.
Talkback menu. Spoken language. Audio ducking on. Talkback settings.
And you're going to go into Talkback settings.
Talkback settings. Navigate up.
And navigating by headings.
Audio. Controls. Braille. General.
And under the general heading, you're going to go to advanced settings.
Show instructions for turning off Talkback. Advanced settings. Advanced settings. Navigate up.
And now in advanced settings, I'm going to go to the controls heading.
Audio. Controls.
And the first item,
Reduce delay. Settings to reduce the delay before Talkback announcements.
we're going to go in here.
Reduce delay. Navigate up.
Now I'm just going to swipe.
These settings can reduce the delay before Talkback announcements. Reset all delay settings.
Here's a button to reset everything if you've messed it up and just want it to behave normally.
Focus delay. 0.3 seconds default.
And the first thing we're going to do is focus delay. And what this does is it adjusts the amount of time it takes from when you place your finger on the screen and hold it there to when it starts letting you explore by touch. And as you heard, the default is 0.3 seconds. So I'm going to double tap here.
Focus delay. Navigate up. Shorter focus delay means Talkback announcements are made faster after touching the screen. Not selected. 0.15 seconds.
And I'm just going to put it at its lowest. The first option is 0.15.
Focus delay added to reading control. Swipe with 3 fingers to use reading control and change the focus delay at any time.
And as it just said, it's been added to your reading controls so you can easily adjust it.
Got it. Focus delay. Navigate up.
And now I'm just going to go home to demonstrate.
Nova Launcher. Home.
So on my home screen, I'm going to put my finger down to explore.
Folder. Shopping for more items.
Now I'm going to let you know when I touch the screen just to show you how long it's taking. So I'm going to put my finger down and hold. I'm going to touch now.
Folder. Smart home for more items.
Now.
Folder. Shopping for more items.
Now.
Folder. Smart home for more items.
So this is now set to its fastest. I'm going to show you how it was. So I'm going to change the focus delay using reading controls.
Focus delay. 0.2 seconds. 0.25 seconds. 0.3 seconds default.
So as you heard, this is the default. I'm just going to do it again. So I'm going to touch now.
Folder. Smart home for more items.
Now.
Folder. Finance for more items.
Now.
Folder. Smart home for more items.
So I don't know if you could tell the difference in the recording, but you will definitely notice a difference when you're using it.
Now, to be honest, I don't understand why it was not just shorter to begin with, because this does not affect double tapping because that's a tap, it's not a touch and hold. The only thing I can say is that maybe you might find one finger gestures a little more difficult. So if you lower this setting, you're going to make sure you're already moving your finger before you touch the screen. So don't put your finger down and then start to swipe if you're trying to do a swipe. Just make sure you're swiping as you touch the screen, and you shouldn't have any difficulties. But if you find that one finger gestures are becoming more difficult for you, then you probably need to adjust this setting back to how it was. Another thing I'm going to point out that applies to focus delay is that if you use triple tap to magnify for low vision users out there, these settings will have no effect on it because that will override this and it will still be waiting for the triple tap, and none of this will behave any differently. So if you do use magnification and you want to adjust the focus delay, you will have to use a different shortcut for magnification other than triple tap. The next thing I'm going to show you is typing focus delay, and I think this is what a lot of people will be very happy with.
Recent apps. One item active in background. Focus delay. Selected. 0.15 seconds.
So now I'm back on the page where I adjusted the focus delay. So I'm going to back out of this.
Reduce delay. Focus delay. 0.3 seconds default.
Now I'm on the delay settings page. I'm going to swipe right from here.
Single tap to activate. Tap once on a focused item to activate. Faster navigation than double tapping. Off.
Now this is nothing new. It's just been moved to this section.
Typing focus delay. 0.3 seconds default.
And this is what we're going to do next, is typing focus delay.
Typing focus delay. Navigate up. Shorter typing focus delay means talkback announcements are made faster after touching the keyboard. Select a delay. Not selected. 0.15 seconds.
Again, I'm going to do the lowest.
Typing focus delay added to reading control. If you have issues with double tap while typing, swipe with 3 fingers to use reading control and change to a longer typing focus delay.
As you heard, it says you may have issues with double tapping, but basically, if you've set it to the very lowest, you will not be able to double tap anymore, which is a good thing, and I'll explain when I demonstrate.
Got it. Typing focus delay. Navigate up.
Open Simple Text Editor.
Type something here. Edit box.
So just a basic edit box here. I'm going to show you the keyboard.
Showing English USQWERTY.
Now before I go any further, I'm just going to say I'm not a keyboard typer. I use the Braille keyboard. I do not use Gboard. But I will try to demonstrate how little delay there is now that I've adjusted that. So I'm just going to type a letter.
H. New file.txt. H. Hotel.
And then I'm just going to alternate my thumbs left and right really fast.
A. D.
So as you can see, I was doing it so fast that it couldn't even say the letters, but it was actually putting the keys in there.
L. Lima. Delete.
So just going to clear the field here.
H. Deleted.
And I'm going to try to just show you how fast you could type even the same key over and over.
F. F.
So that's F, and I'm just going to hit a bunch of times.
T.
So now I obviously moved because that was a T, but I'll just show you.
FFFTTTTT. Edit box. Editing. Window new file.txt.
So as you can see, it did put in every character, even though I was tapping that fast. And another thing I'm going to mention.
T. T.
Now that the keyboard's back in focus, and it put a T, I cannot double tap to do T again. So if I double tap outside the keyboard.
FFFTTTTT. Edit box. Editing.
Put the edit box back in focus. And had I double tapped on the keyboard, it would have just typed 2 keys. So basically what this does is it makes the keyboard stop waiting for a double tap. So every time you touch the keyboard, it will just immediately do whatever you tell it to do. And this applies to any keys you have set to lift to type. So for example, the default is lift to type letter keys, double tap on other keys. So for example, if I go to
Z, P, L, lean, delete, enter,
the enter key, I can double tap on this.
F, 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 T, 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 new line,
So, and I'm hitting it, double tapping again.
new line,
Same with voice typing settings. All those keys that are double tap, you can still double tap those. But if you put any other key in focus, you will not be able to double tap because it won't be waiting for another tap. It will just do the next tap immediately. And that's with the default setting. Similarly, if you have it set to lift to type on any key, then you won't be able to double tap on any of these keys with the focus delay all the way down. Again, you can adjust it with the reading controls if you wanted to change it for some reason. And then if you have it set to double tap all the keys, then none of these settings will make any difference to you at all, so you may as well not adjust them. So I guess that brings us to the end of this demonstration. I hope I was able to explain what these settings do accurately. If you've been frustrated with the typing speed of Gboard and TalkBack, then this might be something you want to play with to see if you get a better experience. I have a feeling this will make many people happy. As always, thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, John, for that demonstration of the Talkback Highlight. Coming up is our Tip of the Week segment. This is a segment where we show you a trick or two on how to use a certain feature on your phone or in a given app. If you have a tip that you would like to share with our listeners, feel free to send us such a tip to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. And now for this week's episode, here's your Tip of the Week. And now to close today's episode, here's our friend Joe Hodge as he demonstrates how to use the Help Me Edit feature found in the Google camera on the Pixel 10, which I believe is also available for others. I cannot say for certainty, but Google is notorious for pushing these things out, and hopefully it comes to you guys. Here's Joe now to show us how to go about using the Help Me Edit.
Hello, I'm here to do a quick demonstration of the new feature that was added with the Google Pixel 10, but is also filtering down to all just Google Photos, anybody who has a Google Photos app. And it's basically Help Me Edit. And the idea here is that it is Gemini doing it, but it's going to do things that the eraser would help you do. So one of the things I was always sad about, and I'm really into photography, but one of the things I was sad about when the Pixel got the eraser is that it wasn't ever accessible. And so, like, for example, if I took a picture of my cat, what often happens is I get my leg in it, or I get my foot in it, or there's just something that like comes up that I don't want really in that photo. And now with the power of Gemini and AI, I can edit that stuff out myself. So I have a photo here, and I'm going to
photo taken on September 7th.
I'm going to
http://
I'm going to let it describe what's in the photo first.
Detected image.
Now I'm having an issue with Vocalizer. Apparently it doesn't like to read that right away. That's kind of annoying.
Text in. Here's a description of the image. The image captures a ginger cat perched on a cat tree, gazing out a window. The cat is viewed from behind, its orange fur catching the light. It is a bright day outside the window, with buildings and trees visible. The cat tree is a multi-tiered structure with platforms and scratching posts, offering the cat a vantage point. The time and location are displayed at the top of the image. September 7th, 6:20 p.m., Louisville, KY. Beneath the tree, there is a cat toy on the floor. The scene suggests a comfortable indoor environment with a view for the cat.
So what I want to do here with this image, I'm going to back out.
Photos.
Is I want to remove that cat toy underneath the cat tower or cat tree. So I'm going to get rid of anything that's sort of in the foreground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Edit,
Edit. Google
Double tap.
Photos Editor.
You're going to hear Google Photos Editor. And I'm just going to touch like towards the bottom middle of the screen.
Rotate 9. Mirror. Crop to act. Straighten. More options. Save. Cancel. Open editing. Help me edit.
We're going to find Help Me Edit. So Help Me Edit is what we want. So I'm going to double tap on this.
Editing. Edit box. Help me edit. Showing English. US. QWERTY.
So I'm going to have it crop out the cat toy at the bottom.
Capital C.
So I'm
capital
gonna...
C. 4. R. R. O. O. P. P. Space. O. O. I. India. U. U. T.
I should have thought about this and had Braille keyboard set up and everything, but I do not. So I am doing it the old-fashioned way here.
5. T. T. H. A. E. F. E. Space. The.
Since I'm recording, I can't dictate. I don't believe so.
C. C. A. A. T. T. Space. 5. Y. Yankee. T.
I'm just going to say crop out the cat toy.
O. O. Y.
And I'm going to hit done.
Send. Keyboard hidden.
So it's very, very precise here on what I did. And so now what you do, so because it doesn't really prompt you that anything's happening or anything has happened. So if I just touch kind of at the top.
Crop out the cat toy. Edit box.
Okay.
Send.
So it didn't actually send it. So that's good to know. So I'm going to double tap on send. So now it did kind of click and that didn't read me anything. But if I just touch at the top of the screen here, I should.
Undo. Read. Save as copy. More options. Image view. Hold image to compare to original. Tab. Circle. Or brush to select.
So this is telling you that there's a new photo here. You also heard undo, so I can undo that change. But I'm gonna do my gesture for my description mode.
Detected. Image.
I'm gonna swipe back.
Thumbs up. Here is a description of the image. The image shows a fluffy orange cat sitting on a cat tree and looking out the window. The cat is facing away from the camera, so only its back and head are visible. The cat tree has multiple levels and is made of light gray material, with a rope post. The window is behind the cat and the sunlight is coming in, illuminating the cat's fur. The overall scene is cozy and calm.
So now it's gotten rid of the cat toy. And I could ask Gemini, I'm going to just pretend that we're going to all pretend here that did happen because it would be annoying for me to have to type out that again. But as you heard, the cat toy is not in this image. And I've done this several times now with these images. Now, if I wanted to, so I could back out of this.
Detect. Close.
I'm going to close it.
Google Photos Editor.
Now, I could actually prompt it for something else. So if I wanted to maybe take out the sun or something to that effect, I could do it. Or maybe I could just even say...
Ask photos entry point. Not more off. I'm sorry. The cat toy was already cropped out in the previous step. Is there anything else you'd like to help me edit?
So
edit box. Help me edit.
There's actually the Gemini response there. I think what happened is that it actually sent it twice. So possibly, I'm not sure, but I'm going to ask it one more thing here.
Showing English. US. QWERTY.
Make.
Delete. Window English. Capital K. Kilo. Capital N. No. Capital N. L. 0. Use voice type. Delete. N deleted. Capital M. Mike. Cap. A. A. K. K. E. E.
I was going to say, make this photo better.
5. T. H. A. I. I. S. S. Space. P. P. H. A. O. O. R. Romy. T. T. 0. O. O. Space. B. Brought B. 3. E. Echo. E. T. 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 E. F. E. R. R.
All right.
Send.
We're going to hit send.
Keyboard hidden. Cancel. Make this photo better. Edit box. Cancel.
So yeah, it is actually doing
Cancel.
that. So that must be what happened is I accidentally sent the prompt twice. So, okay.
Undo.
So now.
Redo. Save as more image view. Hold image to compare to.
I'm going to do it one more time here.
Detected. Image. Thumbs. Here's a description of the image. The image captures a domestic scene featuring an orange tabby cat perched on a cat tree platform, gazing out a window. The cat is positioned with its back towards the viewer, allowing the focus to be on its attentive posture and the scene outside. The window reveals a view of a street lined with brick buildings, a tree, and a red fire hydrant. The lighting suggests it is daytime. The cat tree is made of gray and brown materials. Blinds hang in the window frame.
So that just made, I'm assuming probably just zoomed in on the cat a little bit more to an extent. Maybe made him more of the focus. It's hard to know, but the idea is that you can crop out, you can kind of remove or even sometimes add something to the image. So you can't get too creative with this one. Like if you want to get more creative, you go to Gemini and upload the image, but you can at least, do some of the stuff that
Google Photos Editor.
you would want to do. Now, the final step here is if I want to save this photo. So
Selected. Image view. More option. Save as copy.
So I can just go back to save as copy, and what this will do is put it in my photo. So I will actually have the original still. So it doesn't actually get rid of your old photo. It's going to just add another addition to your photo library. So if I save this.
Photos. Saved. Photos.
So now it's going to return me back
Page 1 of 330.
to my normal photo list here.
Photo taken on September. Navigate up. Photo taken on
And this is my photo.
Backup complete.
So now.
Sunday. Featured Saturday. Sunday. Photo taken on September 7th, 2025, 6:20 p.m. Thursday. Photo taken on September 7th, 2025, 6:20 p.m.
So we actually have two photos for this. And what it does is it puts the one that you created first. So it'll be the first one in this list. So the second one there is actually the one that I edited from. So this has kind of been a quick demo of how the Help Me edit the photo feature works in the new Google Photos on the Pixel 10, as well as rolling out to anyone with Android shortly.
Thank you so much, Joe, for that demonstration. But I think I needed to give you a bad time, with your chosen TTS there. What's wrong with you, going to that girl? What's her name, John?
Samantha. I think
Samantha.
being an iOS user, I think he just likes his voice to be consistent no matter where he is. He wants Samantha on his iPhone or Samantha on his Android.
And that's the problem when you rely on a woman, and especially one called Samantha. Just kidding, guys. Before you bring out the pitchforks, we love you guys. And most especially if your name is Samantha, you are beautiful. But Joe, use some other lady, shall we? Maybe you'll have better luck than using Samantha. But in all seriousness, thanks for showing that demo on how to go about, doing those edits and all of that. Because it used to be these things were not very accessible to us. And now that we can use it, I think it's a good feature. All good things must end. Thus, it's curtain drawing time, bringing us to the close of this week's episode. Coming up, though, we give you information on how to get hold of us. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. And as always, our friend John is here to give you information on how to get hold of us. Here's John now giving you information on how to contact us.
To contact us, simply send an email to contactus@blindandroidusers.com. If you'd prefer, you can leave a voicemail by calling +1 307 202 9797. You can join our mailing list by sending a blank email to Blind Android Users plus subscribe @groups.io. You can join our Facebook and Telegram groups or subscribe to our YouTube channel using the links in the podcast show notes or YouTube video description. And you can find all of this information and more at our website, blindandroidusers.com.
Thank you so much, John, for that information. And folks, with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. As always, we want to thank you for tuning in every week. We look forward to seeing you next week. Until next week, I want to say goodbye. Have a great week.
Thanks for listening.
Have a good week. Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys. Don't miss out the milestone next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. Until we see you next week, don't forget to leave us your comments and suggestions via our email contact or using any of our social media sites. Have a great week.